Yeah, give it a couple minutes for everybody to get up in here. Bright and early. Morning sesh. I got my coffee. It's 5:30, but we in here, you know? We making it shake. Bright and early, baby. Let's fucking go. Yeah, you already know how I get down. Uh, Man, yeah, my sleep schedule been trash too. I was just over on my other stream on the other channel over on YouTube, and yeah, I was getting violated by trolls over there. I ain't gonna hold you, y'all. They they got me. They got me. They got Quantum to crash out on the stream. So yeah, you guys can go view that over on the YouTube. I just don't understand why trolls always. I mean, I maybe I do because I've been chronically online most of my life, but you guys always do it under the guise of you need to be humble. Okay, you need to humble yourself. So trolls always find it necessary to want to humble somebody, but that's not what it is, bro. That's not what it is at all. You're literally just trolling, and I get it. I totally get it. But I'm calling out the trolls. I did a full court press on the trolls today. I did call them out by name on stream, just because you're not about to come on my platform and create a narrative. My YouTube channel is separate from my Twitch stream, so a lot of my followers on here aren't over on the YouTube. So the YouTube channel is like, what the fuck this nigga yapping about? They're not used to what I do over here on YouTube, so I'm still trying to acclimate the YouTube audience to the streaming thing, and yeah, it's real interesting. The narratives that they pick to try to make themselves feel better is wild, B. And Quan ain't going. That's all I'm gonna say. Quan ain't going. All right. You can talk shot. You can talk. You can talk all the shit you want. Hold on, I need to sip my coffee. I need to sip my coffee. I was foaming at the mouth early on stream chat. I was foaming at the fucking mouth earlier. I need to sip my coffee. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, chat. Yeah, gang. Oh man, they full court pressed me. It was fucking funny as hell though. They're just honestly mad that their favorite rapper is, a trash human being, and I totally get it. I'd be mad too if my favorite rapper turned out to be a shit human being. But it just is what it is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go through some of these comments. And yeah, Alpha Motorsports said, "Thought you said you knew them. They smoke like that. Yo, joint his blunt. You sound like a clout chaser, trying to take this glow up." So I go to his page, Alpha Motorsports, and look whose cars he's working on. Xavier Wolf, Eddie Baker. Like, of course he's gonna think this, bro. Like, he's entitled to his opinion. He's totally entitled to his opinion. But Quantum here to let you know, bad take. Trash take, gang. Trash take. Okay. Terrible take. Absolutely terrible take. It didn't even make sense, bro. So I had to come flame your ass up. But I will say, Alpha Motorsports, bro, it looks like you do great work. It looks like you do great custom work. Like I said, I have an 82 Celica. Holler at me. We can work. We can definitely work together. But me and LP BMX, nah, there ain't no working together. There ain't no hashing shit down. Nah. They said you wasn't semi-popping, bro. Be humbled. No wonder you didn't go nowhere. In regards to me calling myself a semi-popping rapper. And I like to think that I am was a semi-popping rapper. Just, we look at the stats. Let's look at it. Let's go through it together, chat. Look at some of these flyers. These are from the original house party flyers. This is from the original shows we did out coming up in the scene. I had a crew. We built a crew. We built it from the ground up. We booked our own shows. We didn't need no middleman. We didn't need nobody else on the shows with us. It was our own crew. And when we wanted to invite other people, we would invite other people. And we exposed our crowd to other people. And it was a whole beautiful experience. And that being said, over the years, I started meeting more people. This Quantum and Charlie Tuna for Jurassic 5. Man, I met my hero, A$AP Rock, in 2012. Literally my favorite rapper. Opened for Blueprint, legendary MC, legendary underground MC. Took on the Vital Nerve crew for his show. Like, man, let's give it up for Blueprint. Eddie P, Blueprint, like, come on. If it wasn't for those two, we wouldn't even have the opportunity to really, like, this legitimized us so much. This show right here in Lawrence, the tickets, the Vital Nerve crew on the ticket, like, this legitimized us, bro. This is 2012. So from 2012, Quantum was stamped in the streets. And from here, you see, like, I'm opening up for Sir Michael Rocks. I'm opening up for Blue. Just all types of underground rappers. Young Simi, Puya, Fat Nick. The list goes on, bro. I'm not going to sit here and name drop every single rapper, but I mean, here is me with NFL running back Tony Richardson. He let me throw a birthday party at his mansion. If Quantum wasn't cool, you think NFL players, you think the game would just let me hang out and with them like that, bro? The game had me in a private section in a club. You think if Quantum wasn't clouded, I would just be able to do things like this? No, bro. Like, people actually rock with me. So when the trolls start fucking with me, sometimes I get a little out of pocket. I get a little out of pocket. I ain't gonna lie. They got me.
I don't really care where it ends up on Billboard.
I'm turning those five. I mean, rapping's just my side bitch. 2012 Quantum. Okay? Let's start there. Rose, bro, you legit letting the haters get to you. That's all they want, gang. Don't worry about it. I mean, shit. I know how y'all trolls get down. I've been chronically online since 2005, so I know don't feed the trolls type shit. But sometimes I gotta go to their page and call they too, because they're not about to get on my platform and tell Quantum that he ain't the shit. Here's me and my favorite rapper at the time, Aesop Rock Wins. This was legitimately my favorite rapper. So I've met all of my idols already in 2012, okay? At this point in 2012, I was already completed in my rap. Yeah, squad. So I snapped. I crashed the fuck out. You can view this on my live session on my YouTube. I'm turning those fives. Like I said, the YouTube's been going up lately. Man, I got over 100 subs since last Thursday. I only had like 68 subs. And I've been on YouTube for 8 years just being a trash rapper. And yeah, I mean, I did get quite of a following off of just posting Twitch content. Just posting my opinion. And yeah, it's crazy because like you post your opinion on YouTube as opposed to Twitch, and everybody's just trying to say you're this, you're that, and just like, nah, bro, I'm me. When people come to my Twitch chat, they know I'm me, bro. Like you ain't gotta lie to kick it, folks. You ain't gotta lie to kick it. All right. So with that being said, there are new videos dropping daily at the YouTube channel. We had the Ghost Main one drop yesterday. That's already at 1.3K. Aiden Ross video dropped Sunday. I do know Sunday was kind of a holiday, but we dropped that one and the Cemetery one on Sunday. It was just some decent numbers. Man, the Gully Boy FD Signifier video, I was hype about that. I woke up Sunday, looked at my phone, saw this FD Sig and GB video, and bro, I don't think I've been that happy in a while. I was just like, what the fuck? I was so stoked to make that video. Y'all could see it, and y'all could see. Like, Quantum was so happy to see that, bro. But, yeah, no. Yeah, YouTube doing numbers. YouTube doing numbers. I can't even hold you, bro. Like, yeah, we out here. Yeah. Quantum stamped. And on top of that, the person I made the video talking shit about right here, Eddie Baker, 3,000 views on this at the moment, by the way, pulled up to my chat, my live stream last night, and showed love. There's no beef. So it's like, come on, bro. Y'all creating beef where there doesn't need to be beef. And that's what really blows me about y'all fans. I work with rappers. I film music videos. I have access to a recording studio. I ended up having my own recording studios. So yeah, bro, I rap. It is what it is. But like, man, I never wanted anything that came with that because it just seemed like way too much in my opinion.
Whereas L harbored more deontological ethics, but because of American Gangster or The Wolf of Wall Street, they do not represent traits we want to adopt to the same degree people like L. While the
EB was good.
Are the people
oh,
we should
snap.
To be like, they represent
Eddie Baker.
For lack of a better
what up, cuz? Welcome to the stream.
Identity.
Hey, if you saw my video, gang, I do want all the smoke. I want all of it. Thank you for coming to the stream. I appreciate it, bro.
Rebellious detours through these characters is our purgation.
Okay, bet. Thank you. I don't want any smoke. I really don't. Like, I don't. Like, I'm really here to just create a balance in hip-hop. If you watch my video, you know I'm actually a supporter of y'all. So, how do y'all see this content and then still come to my page and say that I'm clout chasing? Who am I clout chasing off of? Like, really, bro? Like, I don't want these niggas fans. The fuck? I don't want their fans at all. You think I'm clout chasing to get their fans? Absolutely not. No. This is nasty work. So, no, I'm merely raising awareness of an issue that's not only a hip hop issue, okay? I'm not clout chasing hip hop artists. I'm merely just 10 toes down on abusers. And it seems like the people that are coming after me just also a little abusive. What can I say? What can I say, chat? What can I say? I mean, y'all kind of weird in my chats right now. Kind of weird in my comment section. Kind of abusive. Not cool to troll people like that. So that's just kind of where I'm at with it. If Eddie Baker's cool with me making a video about him, critiquing him, I think it's fine, bro. Like, that gets more music shipped to him. That gets more listeners to him. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm over here completely dragging them. I don't think I said anything out of pocket at all in either of these videos about them. I don't think I said anything out of pocket at all, chat. Think about that. I didn't say anything out of pocket about them. So, how am I clout chasing? Yeah, this is gaslighting, what y'all doing to me, bruh. This is just grade A gaslighting. And you're using your abuser tactics that you probably learned from them. And I don't like it, bro. I just don't like it. And you want to see what happens when you let abusers keep abusing? You're an enabler.
With Chris Hansen and Repzilla and spilled everything in detail. 21 women accused Vanity of sexual assault.
See, y'all, this is what happens when you let abusers roam freely without getting pressed. Yeah, the Davi Vanity video is coming 7 today. It's coming this morning, because this shit right here, y'all. Oh, man. Whew.
Bruh.
Man, Davi Vanity, bro, man. I see, that's the fan base that I know I'm really gonna go into it with. I think the Zay fans are bad. Nah, this Davi Vanity fans, they gonna be crazy, all right? Those are the ones that's probably gonna be trying to dox Quan. And it's like, why y'all mad at me? Y'all defending a bald-ass abuser nigga, bro. Like, he faked it like he had this scene hair. He was a hairstylist. Whole time the nigga bald, bruh. Like, let's start there, okay?
What the dog doing?
So, nah, man, you're not gonna keep treating Quan like this, acting like Quan crazy. When you try to spit facts, they always try to make it seem like you crazy, and that's it's nasty work.
Bruh.
But that being said, I think we're caught up on all of the quantum material for now. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and get a couple videos in this morning, just hanging out, chilling. I'll probably hang around with y'all for the next hour or so. Let's watch a couple videos, chat. I got a couple things that I've been meaning to pull up. So this one is by my girl, Intellectual Media. Shouts out my girl, Lex. Yeah, this is a Black American history of names. I already know this is going to be a banger. Let's go ahead and watch it together.
Friend named Alexis look like a Buick.
Pat, Lori, Shelly, Aaliyah, Rose, Brian, Darren, and
Epiphany isn't just a name that black people give their daughters. It's a realization, and I just had one.
D-Nice.
Do you mean Denise?
Son of a bitch! You say your name right now.
Denise?
Say it right.
Denise.
Correctly.
Denise.
Right.
Denise.
Right.
D-Nice.
That's better. Thank you.
We can't pronounce her name, but we can tell you it has over 1,000 letters. We had to create a special graphic for her name. Take a look. That is her name. That makes Letitia LaShawn look simple. Letitia LaShawn Shante. Her birth certificate is 2 feet long. She has the longest personal name in the world, according to the Guinness Book of World Record.
Jack Marius Tactheratrix, Michigan State University.
The Isaiah T. Billings Clyde, Coastal Carolina University.
When I say Keisha and when I say Hannah, what pops up in your head? How many black girls named Molly or Becky do you personally know? What about about Deja or Kiara? Do you remember when Daquan was a meme? Why are there so many Black Washingtons and unique first names for Black girls? As my name is Alexis, did my own mother name me after a car? In this video, I want to talk about a Black American history of names. And how about we toast to that? Thankfully, Bright Cellars sent me a big box of wine to celebrate Black names and history. Do you love
Lex, I like you. I fuck with you hella, but we gonna go ahead and fast forward past this. All right, thank you.
or cancel your monthly subscription at any time? Scan the code or click the link below to get started. By many estimates, approximately 30 to 40% of the kidnapped people from Africa during the transatlantic slave trade were Muslim, meaning they likely had Arabic names. Those who were neither Muslim nor Christian had their own significant names from their own cultures. And when brought to America, the earliest enslaved people tried to keep their original or country names. But one of the simplest ways to dehumanize them and trample their spirits was by taking their names and giving them new ones, most famously portrayed in the 1977 miniseries Roots.
Your name is Toby. You're going to learn to say your name. Let me hear you say it. What's your name?
Kunta Kinte.
If enslaved people got a last name and many didn't, it was the last name of the white people who owned them. Enslavers also took the word Sambo, which was originally a name for second son among Hausa people in West Africa, and turned it into a slur. During the colonial era, classical names like Virgil, Hannibal, Titus, Hercules, Phoebe, Venus, and Daphne were given to the enslaved. Those weren't routine names for white people. And noted art historian Susan Wegner, classical names could show off slaveholders' learning while also mocking those humans held as property by giving them ironic names of powerful ancient rulers, gods, and heroes. Venus was an especially popular name bestowed on Black women and stemmed from a word meaning physical desire and sexual appetite. It was also, of course, the name for the Roman goddess of love and her Greek equivalent, Aphrodite. According to cultural anthropologist Sarah Abel, this reflected and licensed the lasciviousness of European slaves.
Chat, y'all ever seen a white Venus? Something to think about.
Slave owners towards African women, making such behavior sound agreeable. This late 18th century engraving, The Voyage of the Sable Venus from Angola to the West Indies by William Granger, depicts the fetishization of Black women during the Middle Passage. Here's a side-by-side to the Botticelli Venus. As the years went by and the era of the Great Awakening peaked, enslaved people were given increasingly European and Christian names like Elijah and Moses. As with much of slavery, the conditions that people lived under varied by the enslaver. Some enslaved people were allowed to pick the name of their children, and others weren't. Early records from South Carolina, where Gullah Geechee culture thrived, showed distinctly African names and records, with groups naming their children after names of the week in West African languages, corresponding with birthday. According to Nick Butler, there were names like Quash for Sunday, Cujo for Monday, Bina for Tuesday, Kwame for Saturday, etc. It was common among Black people to have nicknames for kin and friends, and runaway notices sometimes listed people's country names and nicknames. Added Butler in 1748, for example, an enslaver in Charleston advertised for the return of 2 Angola Negro men, one named Moses, but his country name Monvigo.
So that's like your street name, chat. The country name, that's like having a street name. So it's like, you know, I got my government name, and I'm also Quan. So yeah, man, we not so different after all. This is crazy.
The other named Samson, his country name Gomo. As Black people won their freedom with blood, sweat, and tears by running away and becoming abolitionists, many changed their names to break away from their enslavers. Araminta Ross, referred to as Minty in runaway notices, became Harriet Tubman, taking the last name of her husband John during a time when enslaved marriages weren't recognized. Isabella Baumfree became Sojourner Truth. In 1838, escapee Frederick Augustus Washington Bailey had long dropped his 2 middle names already and been known as Frederick Stanley and Johnson. But in New Bedford,
man, my boy, he got that mean mug perfected, all right? Like, I don't want no issues with the ancestors, all right? But my man, I would not fuck with him. You know you're supposed to smile in pictures, right? Like, damn, bro. I know civil rights was bad back then, but damn, you ain't smiling at all. All right, bet.
There were already too many Johnsons. Turning to the abolitionist he was staying with, I gave him the privilege of choosing me a name, but told him he must not take from me the name of Frederick. I must hold on to that to preserve a sense of my identity. Douglas was pulled from a Scottish poem. Still, during and after slavery, some black people took their former master's surnames or gave their children names inspired by American heroes like George Washington, Ben Franklin, and Abe Lincoln. But also, the 1880 census showed that 1/4 of black homes had a son named after their father. What were the most common first names for black people by the early 1900s that were barely used by white Americans? Abraham, Alonzo, Percy, Pearlie, Prince, Israel, Isaiah, Presley, Purcell, and Titus. According to the Ohio State University's Trayvon.
I ain't never made a nigga named Titus. Wow, these are different. I had no idea that niggas was getting down like this.
Logan. These kinds of names had long been popular among the black population, with these names also listed commonly between 1719 and 1820 on ship manifests. In fact, 3% of enslaved people had names that were considered specifically black because white people didn't use them, and this percent would hold steady in the 1920s. As the 20th century went on, popular names for black men with specific European origins include Germain, of French and Latin, Darnell of the Anglos, Leroy of the Normans, and Tyrone
OG
of the Irish.
Yeah, Tyrone. That's the origin of Tyrone? Are you serious?
Leroy of the Normans and Tyrone.
I guess so. Wow, I never really thought about it like that. This is crazy. Lex really breaking it down, chat. I didn't know history like this. Wow, this is mind blowing to me. This is some crazy shit. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Of the Irish. You better call Tyrone. Sociologist Newbell Niles Puckett, author of Folk Beliefs of the Southern Negro, collected thousands of distinct black names from 1619 to the 1940s and 1975's posthumous Black Names in America. With a name like Newbell Niles Puckett, he was destined for the job, and he even created a list of unique names. Let me read some of my favorite girl names from the list. Some are familiar favorites, and some we may need to bring back. Alexina, Allegra, Angel Face, Asia, Banana, Beauty, Beauty Love, Beautiful Swindler, Beauty Marcel, Beauty Pearl, Blondie, Cinderella, Charlesetta, who I just know her daddy's name was Charles and her mama's name was Loretta. Choice, Cleopatra and Cleopatria, Doll Baby, Easter Bell, Elvira, Alexinia, Felicia, Future, Immaculate Conception, Ice Cream Babbitt, Hermione, Jetty.
We got a black Hermione? Okay. Yeah, I didn't. So Hermione was a black girl name? Okay, J.K. Rowling. Dang, J.K. I didn't know that, J.K. Let's go, J.K.
Jetty is like my favorite off that list. Jetty, come do these damn dishes. Jetty, bring me the remote. Hey, Jetty, is we going outside this weekend? La Pearl, Lexi, Madonna,
Jetty kind of a goated
Pinky,
name. I can't
a
hold
bunch
you.
of
Jetty
variations
good for
of
pets
Queen,
too.
and the list goes on. Surprisingly, Hannah
Imagine
was
a dog named Jetty. Bro, that sounds fire. Cat named Jetty. Yeah, don't say Quantum ain't never give y'all anything. Alright? These some fire names. Let's go.
listed with 32 entries, making it far more popular than other names on the list. Make sure you check out the full list at the link in my description box and choose your favorite. Let me know in the comments. In case you're discounting the importance of black people's autonomy over their own names, consider Cassius Marcellus Clay becoming a Muslim man named Muhammad Ali. He was named after his father, who had been named after a Kentucky abolitionist and politician. Numerous white and black people objected to the name change and refused to refer to him as Muhammad Ali. "What's my name, Uncle Tom? What's my name?" Ali taunted one opponent between punches who still called him Clay. Ali's success, confidence, and religion, which would become contentious when he refused to be drafted for the Vietnam War, made him a pariah in the 1960s as much as the name change. He was derided as cocky and arrogant, and people intentionally used Cassius Clay to strip him of his autonomy and achievements. In the months of promotion for 1971's The Fight of the Century, Joe Frazier, a pro-war boxer, referred to Ali as Clay, which prompted Ali to call him an Uncle Tom and race traitor. He said, "Why does he insist on calling me Cassius Clay when even the worst of the white enemies recognize me as Muhammad Ali?" By the way, these men had beef basically for life, especially because Frazier beat him in the fight and Ali reneged on his promise to crawl across the ring and call Frazier the greatest. So
Yo, you went back on your word, homie? Hold up. I didn't know about this. Hey, what? There's some lore that I didn't know about. We're going to have to revisit this later, chat.
Ali's name change was one of the most visible and debated ones, but in the 60s and 70s, lots of black people in the wake of Afrocentrism and the civil rights and black power movements were changing their names. Malcolm Little had become Malcolm X back in the 40s, with the X symbolizing his unknown African surname. Black Panther and future best-selling musician Yvette Marie Stevens became Shaka when she was 13.
Malcolm X, the only
after
X
the
that
name
I
was
recognize
bestowed upon
next to
her by a
DMX.
Yoruba
That
priest.
other X,
Stokely
oof.
Carmichael became Kwame Ture, though he went by both names by the end of his life. Future politician Frizzell Gerard Tate became Kwasi Mfume. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was born Lou Alcindor, publicly began using his new name in 1971 after he converted to Islam, like Muhammad. By the way, I find it very interesting that Bill Cosby and Muhammad Ali were great friends, but in Cosby's infamous 2004 pound cake speech given before the NAACP to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Brown versus Board of Education, he said, "We are not Africans. Those people are not Africans. They don't know a damn thing about Africa. With names like Shaniqua, Shaligua, Muhammad, and all that crap, and all of them are in jail. When we give these kinds of names to our children, we give them the strength and inspiration and the meaning of those names. What's the point of giving them strong names if there's not parenting and values backing it up?" On one hand, he insinuated the names were powerful.
Hey, so like, Bill Cosby is just like the OG of trying to say the right thing, but like constantly putting his foot in his mouth. Like, I could see how the old head meant well, but when you take into account all the bad shit he did, him wagging his finger at all this looks kind of crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. It looks kind of crazy. That's interesting. It's real interesting, huh?
But perhaps only after he realized he had slipped up and equated Shaniqua and Shaligua, obvious targets for his speech about respectability politics, with Muhammad, the ancient Arabic and Islamic name of one of his friends. So anyways, the slew of name changes among 1960s celebrities, activists, and intellectuals caused given names to change. Prior to this period, naming pattern differences between white and black people were small, around the aforementioned 3%. By 1977, the average black female got a name that was 20 times more likely to be given to black girls than white ones. Popular ones included Aaliyah, Asada, and Afeni. A North Carolina native and Black Panther named Alice Williams became Afeni Shakur, and in 1972, she changed her one-year-old's name from Lassane Parish Crooks to Tupac Amaru, an 18th century indigenous Incan leader who led the 1780 rebellion against the Spanish in Peru. Afeni would later say about the new name of the future best-selling rapper, "I wanted him to have the name of revolutionary indigenous people in the world. I wanted him to know he was part of a world culture and not just from a neighborhood." Names with La, like LaShonda and Lakeisha, became common.
Honestly, Chad, when you got the name of a warrior like that, you kind of got a battery in your pack. And you kind of got a battery in your back, you know? Like, when your parents name you after a warrior, it's a lot of pressure. It's definitely a lot of pressure. Like, imagine being told that, and you like 3, you just come into cognition, okay? You just now, like, out of nowhere, is like fucking brain blast. They like, your name is Tupac Amaru Shakur. It is the name of a great warrior. Just like,
and from this period too. In the early 90s, there was news coverage on unique black names as the Shah prefix became popular with names like Shamika and Shaniqua. The name Shanae conjured up images of Martin Lawrence in drag.
Little girl, just go home and change your pampers, okay?
Little girl, look, don't get hurt by this little girl, okay?
No, you didn't.
Yes,
No,
I
you,
did.
bitch, don't you put your hand in my face. All right? You don't put your hand in my
Yeah. You thought you could come into Quantum's chat. You thought you could come into Quantum's chat and advertise. Well, look at you now. Look at you now. Clapped his ass. Banned. Yeah, Goofy. Yeah, Goofy.
I will hurt you, okay? I will hurt you. So what you trying to do?
For boys, there were Quantaviuses and Ladariuses. Complained a Florida college professor to the Tampa Bay Times in 1993. It's a class thing. The middle class doesn't have a need to bless their child with such names. Younger teenage girls are trying to make their child unique. She wants her to be unique, so she gives her a name the child can't spell until she's 13 and nobody can pronounce. Agree to columnists, they are prevalent in the ghetto. If giving yourself an African-sounding name is supposed to inspire pride, we certainly know enough black kids with exotic-sounding names who are part of the crime statistics. I think that I can
Man, the news media has never been for us, all right? And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. You could see it right now. The machine picks and chooses who they wanna fuck with. And most of the time, they're not fucking with any of us. It don't matter what ethnicity you are. But yeah, they definitely be picking and choosing who they want to bully and pick fights with. And yeah, that was a crazy article right there. I feel like these journalists are some of the most terroristic people of our time. Like, low key, the way they be spinning stuff, like it's on Beyblade levels, chat. They spinning shit for real. You think that Sleazy World goes spinning shit? These journalists are spinning shit.
overcome the stereotype of a name if you get to know me, but we are not always given a fair shot. A Muslim name after the bombing of the World Trade Center is certainly not a plus. Warned University of Florida's Black Studies Director Dr. William Simmons, blacks will go further back with those kinds of names. There was a small bump in the amount of black people choosing distinctly white names in the late 1990s and 2000s. But creative names, particularly for black girls, was and is a continuing trend. In 2004, Roland G. Fryer and Stephen D. Levitt found that in California alone, nearly 1/3 of African American girls were given a name given to nobody else in the state. They found that having a creative name was only more likely to make a black woman give her own children creative names. So all of the Ivanas and Flo's and Ices, more of my favorite names from that early to mid 20th century bucket list, would go on to create names with similar flair and creativity.
It's
and
stellar.
sometimes did
Stellar's
those names
wild,
go too
chat.
far?
What is her name? What is her name?
It's Roshandy Antonishan Vision Keeson Simon Drew Shalinda Shirkane Ronquel. Ninja Shamika Shanet Tamika Shawahini Shell Connie Satsan, Janish Marine, Consari Kirkanisha Devon, Yvonne Lutani Sivante, Pranky Salaviva, Zafsa, Jesslyn Sajave, Loya, Vet Sparkly Sandra Kate, Kati Vishon or Leave, Kashawa, Lisa Nethy, Shots Macmonelo, Lisa. My middle name is Kunyan Scott.
Your middle name?
Okay, so some names went too far, but more often than not, I love a good creative black name. I still remember the pride on my coworker's mom's face in high school when she told me why she named her son Sir Christopher, because white people would always be forced to call him Sir.
I feel like when you have a name like the woman or the lady, the young lady that was in that Oprah clip, how do you shorten it? You know, like, do you just put NA? You know, like, I don't know how you would shorten a name like that. What do you do? What's your nickname? Honestly. Yeah, you going by a street name. You going by a country name if you got one of those long-ass names. Because people, they already don't like names more than 2 syllables. That's just something I've learned over time. If you got a name over 2 syllables, you getting a nickname, okay? Nobody's about to say Jonathan. You John now, okay? Yeah, it's too much for us.
She did that. And I'm so sorry, but my own mother is very iconic for naming me Alexis Jonday, because how else would I be lectual and have intellectual media? Is Jonday a backwards portmanteau of one of her dogs and a mustard? Yes. Is it uniquely mine? Also yes. She almost named me Cleopatra or India, by the way. Can you imagine if this was Cleopatra Media or India Media? No, intellectual media. It was her best friend at the time who suggested Lexus when the cars were really popular. But she said there weren't enough syllables, so she said Alexis. When the nurse, a rude woman in a rush, wrote my name down and presumed to know the spelling, my mother told her, no, it's an E at the front. The nurse had the last laugh, though, because she left the acui my mother requested off of Jonde. And that's why people say, like, Giondi instead of Jonde. I bet you ain't know that's how my name was said. I bet you. Speaking of pronunciations, remember when 9-year-old Quiven Janae Wallace corrected
Yo, what a crazy story. The nurse spun the block. Hey, man, we gotta start holding these nurses accountable too. Y'all think that I'm only going after, you know, regular abusers. Nah, bro. This channel's about to expose everything. Let's get to it. But yeah, bro, the fact that she spun the block on you like that and everybody calls you that's some evil shit, bro. Imagine you're not even born yet and you already got haters, gang. You're not even born.
Ricky Gervais for mispronouncing her name, and Chrissy Teigen made fun of her.
This is how you say my name. Quiven Janae Wallace.
Yeah, that happened. This reminds me of someone else with a truly iconic and singular black name, Beyonce Giselle Knowles. Miss Tina, born Celestine, christened B after her own maiden French Creole name, Beyonce. Miss Tina's surname was misspelled on the birth certificate by the nurse, making hers different from her siblings, whose surname was Beyonce. Miss Tina explained to Elle magazine that she asked her mother, why didn't you argue and make them correct it? And she said she did the first time and was told, be happy that you're getting a birth certificate, because at one time, black people didn't get birth certificates because it meant that you really didn't exist and you weren't important. This is how important our names are. And by the way, that's how we ended up with Beyonce, which now means beyond others. Over 1,000 Beyoncés alone were born between 2000 and 2004 when Destiny's Child peaked and she first went solo. And having that name is a lot to live up to. I imagine it's like when people name their kids Jesus or something. Like, why would you name me that? I'm scared to live. You know the joke, I'm gonna call him what his mama call him? This only applies for me to Twitter. I'll never call it X. Elon Musk can choke. But when it comes to humans, plenty of people go by chosen names. Think of Bell Hooks, born Gloria Jean Watkins. She chose to write under the name of her great-grandmother and intentionally use lowercase letters because the substance of books, not who she is, was more important. When Anna Mae Bullock became superstar Tina Turner and divorced her abusive husband Ike, all she asked for was the rights to her name. The surname of her abuser became a worldwide brand on her terms. For years, people have incorrectly assumed Whoopi Goldberg, born Karen Elaine Johnson, is Jewish because of the surname she chose. Chosen names are also, of course, important to black gender non-conforming people.
Now, to be fair, Whoopi, in Hollywood, is that necessarily a bad thing? Hey, we just gonna go ahead and call it as it is.
Activist Marsha P. Johnson, who was given their father's name at birth, chose Johnson from Howard Johnson's restaurant, and P for Pay It No Mind in reference to their gender. Janet Mock chose her name after being inspired by Janet Jackson. Her given surname, like so many others, came from her third great-grandfather, who was owned by a white family named Mock. Laverne Cox's middle name was originally Laverne, a name that appeared on Newbell Niles Puckett's list of unique black names for girls. And lastly, we can't forget about all the Junebugs, Squirts, Man-Mans, Juniors, and other nicknames for family members who we don't refer to as anything else. I didn't know my Aunt Lady's real name was Melissa until I was a teenager. I was at the cookout like, who the fuck is Melissa? Two of my grandfather's brothers changed their names when they moved from the south to the north. And I never knew they had given names until recently when talking to my grandfather for this video. His own father was given the two-letter name DJ, which didn't stand for anything. And one of his sons became DJ Jr., which he changed. The rise of Barack Hussein Obama in the national spotlight in the 2000s is crucial for a bunch of reasons we'll get into in the future. But for the purpose of this video, do you remember the jokes about his name? It was a component of the racism and Islamophobia hurled at Obama during a decade in the aftermath of 9/11 and a conservative presidency.
Ultimately, though, tonight's not about the disagreements Governor Romney and I may have. It's what we have in common, beginning with our unusual names. Actually, Mitt is his middle name. I wish I could use my middle name.
His race and name were both barriers, and later
Barriers. See, my boy Barry stood 10 toes, okay? Shouts out Barry, okay? Despite, which, you know, all the bad things, drone strikes. Shouts out to Barry, though. He stood 10 toes on that name stuff. And Donald Trump trying to pull his card, that birth certificate, stood 10 toes, okay?
touted as signs of the country's new liberalism. A black man with an ethnic name had the launch codes at the helm of imperialism. Child, we made it. Levitt and Fryer's research in 2004 found that creative names didn't have a significant impact on someone's quality of life, using the data of 16 million births in California between 1961 and 2000. They also found that unique names were more common among the lower class, but not that these names contributed to them being lower class. Argued Fryer, it's not really that you're named Kaisha that matters, it's that you live in a community where you're likely to get that name that matters. At the same time, a conflicting study in Chicago entitled, "Are Emily and Greg More Employable Than Lakeisha and Jamal?" responded to 1,300 classified ads with dummy resumes, finding black-sounding names were 50% less likely to get a callback than white-sounding names with comparable resumes. The study concluded applicants with white names need to send about 10 resumes to get one callback, whereas applicants with African-American names need to send about 15 resumes to achieve the same result. The sample size, method, and location no doubt impacted the different findings, but as time has gone by, the idea that black names are discriminated against has increased. In the wake of the Great Recession, the New York Times reported in 2009 that black people were trying to whiten their resume to find employment by dropping or altering names that were distinctly black. In a 2015 study at UCLA featuring 1,500 participants, the names Jamal, Deshaun, and Darnell were pitted against Connor, Wyatt, and Garrett to test for bias. Summed up one of the research scientists, "I've never been so disgusted by my own data." The amount that our study participants assumed based only on a name was remarkable. A character with a black-sounding name was assumed to be physically larger, more prone to aggression, and lower in status than a character with a white-sounding name. The University of Chicago and the University of California, Berkeley did a study that was published in 2021. They submitted over 83,000 entry-level job applications to 108 Fortune 500 companies in the U.S. and found that people with black names had a 2.1% less chance of getting contacted. But you know what makes all of this data even more interesting? Trevon Logan, Lisa Cook, and John Parman, studying death records of 3 million black men from 4 states, found that those with distinctly black names lived nearly 1 year longer on average than other black Americans. They wrote, "The results show that having an African American name increases the lifespan by more than 3 years in Alabama, 2 years in Illinois, and more than 7 years in Missouri, and nearly 4
Whoa, 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 whoa. Why is it almost double and triple in Missouri? What's going on? So I can't have a white name as a black person in Missouri? My life gonna be more stressful? Is that what you're telling me? What does this mean, bro? I'm so confused. Should my name be Daquan instead? Huh.
years in North Carolina,
Might
leaving
change my
them to
name to
conclude
Daquan.
that there are likely several pieces of the African American demographic experience which remain hidden from contemporary scholarship and which require serious and sustained investigation. What will we know about the black experience and names in the future? In the present era, distinctly black names are much more widely accepted than ever before, but there still seems to be lingering discrimination. And like everything else, they're wrapped up in our culture and history and society's trends. If my theory that black conservatism is on the rise for the rest of the decade is true, does that mean that'll impact black names? Will it lead to more black names or less black names? Do you have an interesting name, by the way? Has your name ever impacted your ability to get a job or led to racism? And what's your favorite black celebrity name change? Also, do you think that in the future we'll look back and see the name Karen take a permanent nosedive in naming popularity among black and even white people? I'm willing to bet yes and come back to this video in 10 years. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you like this video and subscribe. Thanks again to Bright Sellers for sponsoring.
All right, Chad, let me know. That was the Black American History
I got a friend named
names. Check out Intellectual Media. Yeah. One of my favorite YouTube channels. I love that shit. Yeah, bro. Very informative. Very informative. A lot of history I didn't know about black names. A lot of names that I was completely unaware of. That list of names blew my mind. I'm going to have to revisit that name because I'm trying to name some things, chat. Yeah, I'm trying to name some things, if you know what I'm saying. But, hey, I'm about to go ahead and cut it. I'm about to cut it. Yeah. It's early morning stream. I appreciate everybody coming through.